You better mono that log.
You better mono that log. My logs have mono.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? My name's Josh.
And my name's Nick.
And we're here to give you
a reality check. You know you need one.
Mm-hmm.
RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 12. We are now almost at the amount of episodes as queens we started with.
Yeah.
And these girls are, dropping one by one.
Yeah, I mean, we have, unfortunately, Miss Butthole herself has left the workroom.
Rest in peace to my favorite butthole.
Rest in peace to, honestly, I think the United States' favorite butthole, if you will.
At this point, one nation united under butthole. Like
Injustice for all. If you like all things reality TV, from RuPaul's Drag Race to Big Brother, Survivor, The Amazing Race, The Traitors, we're your new best friends. Go grab a snack, go grab a drink, and take a plop on this couch because we're here to give you the tea on all things reality TV. A plop, Mama.
You better plop.
You better plop on that couch.
Stop, plop, and roll.
I know that's right.
Let's get into this episode. So the queens are coming back in. Lana just officially survived her third lip sync, which puts her in a very exclusive club. Not one that, queens go into Drag Race hoping that they will become a member of, but a very exclusive club nonetheless. And it's kind of that, the kiss of death getting to the third lip sync. Usually, for most queens.
Yeah.
You don't get past 3.
If we're going to clock it, she shouldn't have made it past the first one.
No.
Against Crystal?
Against Hormona.
Oh, because Hormona went
Yeah.
twice. Hormona.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The second one.
Yeah,
Let me
Crystal,
stand corrected.
I still do think Crystal sent Lana home. But,
yeah,
it is what it is. The
regardless, listen,
crumbled.
exactly. Yeah. Crystal's not here. Lana is.
Yeah. So we head back into the workroom after the girls are kind of discussing. And we have this moment of the question being asked by RuPaul. And it's not a question of who do you want. It's who do you think? Logistically, fairly, based off of what you're seeing, who do you think should be the next queen eliminated? This question has kind of evolved over the seasons to be a cop-out of, well, she's my strongest competition.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
No.
I hate that shit. We were so fed on season 15 with Lux going down the line.
Reading the girls down.
Yeah. We need that. We need that back. Like, who do you think is shit? Who's shit? Your look shit? I would never say you're shit. Go home.
The issue is nowadays I feel like everybody is just so trying to be congenial, trying not to drag a girl down and be like, you're dirty, nasty, rancid.
Because the fandom is insane.
They are.
Yeah.
Listen, all I have to say is that I appreciate a queen like Anya who can actually be like, all of you girls chose that answer, chose Susie just to choose her, and I don't play like that. Lydia, I love you, but I think you should go home.
Yeah, Susie has these girls pressed for some reason. If they really wanted to send home the biggest competition, they should have all been naming Anya down the line.
That part.
Or Sam even,
That part.
Like, Susie is very obviously falling as a front runner.
Yeah.
Fast.
She's in like the 3-4 spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was interesting to see, but I want to know, let us know down in the comments. Do you think that it's more of a who you want? I mean, I guess who you think and who you want are kind of like the same side, different sides of the same coin, but I don't know. I love the drama. I live for the drama of that moment. There's, there's things the judges are not seeing,
I'll never forget season 2 when they were doing that all with Tyra, and it just...
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah. My God. That was so iconic.
No, I love it. But a new day in the workroom is upon us. The Drag Race gods have descended. The sun is shining. The tank is clean. The tank is clean.
The tank is clean.
And we find out that this week's challenge is kind of like monologues.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very interesting one.
Well, before the monologues challenge, we have our mini challenge.
Right.
They go.
Wait, this was so funny.
Grab your closest friend who you're closest to, and you guys are going to make bios for each other.
Yes.
I was so gagged that Lexi didn't pick Sam.
Yeah, I was shocked too, especially because we've seen them kind of really bond, especially like in their crash out moments of the season.
Exactly, exactly.
So it was strange, but I mean, I don't think that the queens were really thinking anything of it other than it's a mini challenge.
Yeah.
I don't think they anticipated this going into
The challenge.
like, rolling over kind of. So it was interesting to see. Like, I wonder who they would have picked if they knew it was going to be for the challenge. Too,
Yeah,
you know?
I like that though. Like, give them,
Yeah.
throw them a little fork in their fork in the garbage disposal.
Let's do the fork in the garbage disposal. Yeah.
So the monologues. This is.
I was confused at first.
Yeah.
I was kind of like interpretive dance monologuing for each other, writing about a prompt the boots house down.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't love the monologues as like a maxi challenge. You know, at 6 girls, I understand that you can't really do it in any other.
Yeah.
Like, there's not. What are you going to do at 8?
There's
That's
not enough
kind of too
time.
much, you know, unless you cut time down and stuff. But regardless, I understand the versatility that it takes to be able to, you know, act, sew, design, do monologues, host,
Do monologues.
RDR live kind of stuff. You know, that
Yeah.
skitty comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they did it. Just as a viewer, I wanted to see some girls throw puss and do a girl group or something. Or
Yeah, the fact that it's episode 12 and we haven't gotten a girl group challenge is kind of insane.
I'm still salty.
kind of
about
insane. I'm salty about it too, but unfortunately, that's not the challenge we have. So we have to talk about the one that we do have, and we get this kind of like everybody gets a different category, and they pull out of the box, and they all get assigned their their topics, and it has to come from a personal story, something that they're writing, they're creating, which I like as a viewer. We kind of get to peek inside their mind, inside their history.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that the interpretive dancing that went with it, like, it was just like a lot of nothing. Like, the challenge was like, I hope you're hungry for nothing. Like, it just wasn't, I don't know. Once it was happening, I was like, okay, like, this
it's
is
not that,
this is funny,
yeah.
whatever. But I don't know.
So the partners for the challenge were Lexi and Anya, Sam and Lana, Susie and Jules.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the rip, out of those 3 groups, who were you most excited to see?
I was really excited for Susie in this challenge, just because the drama, the theater, the monologuing of it all.
Hi, I'm Susie too.
I'm Susie too. So I was really expecting a lot out of her from this challenge. And I was also really excited to see what Lana was going to do.
Yeah.
Because she had a really good week last week, and I was hoping that she could kind of,
climb that
build
ladder,
on it, which
take the
I think
momentum.
she did. Which I think she did. We'll get into that. No, because girl. But I liked it. Who are you ready to see?
I was the same with you. I was excited for Jules and Susie just because Jules like Susie has a background in theater. We're theater girls. I love to see someone who does this and like see what they're gonna do. Unfortunately, it felt a little flat. It wasn't.
There's this thing that I've talked about it before. There's this thing that Susie does, and she enters like actress mode.
Yeah.
And she kind of like boots up, and she's like, and I saw my reflection in the mirror. And it just gives like like she doesn't give like level. She doesn't. Sometimes it's lacking for me because I know what she's doing. She's trying to be perfect, poised, polished, rehearsed down. But in the rehearsing of it, we're losing some of like the human quality.
Yeah, like she needs to
her
build
stuff.
up
It needs to feel
acting
more like she's just thinking of it.
Yeah.
Like it's coming right off the rip, not so rehearsed.
Yeah.
That's my only thing is that I was nervous for with Susie because that's how she gets. Like she's very like
My issue is that at least the Susie's Jules combo themselves, Susie was a little flat and then Jules was flatter than Susie. And if they both went
well, we'll get in. Let's break it down. Let's break down who's doing what, where, when, why, and how. and kind of their categories. All right, so our story topics are kind of all across the board, which I like. It gives variety, but I also feel like there were some topics that were a lot easier to come up with something funny, in my opinion. We had Lexi Love with Payback's a Bitch, Anya Nerve doing Obsessed. Susie Toot was prompted with Learned That the Hard Way. Jules was Out of This World. And we had Lana doing Lost. Sam with Triggered, and that is everybody. But I do think some of these are easier. Like getting something Payback's a Bitch is a little bit, you get a little bit more context than just Lost.
Yeah.
You know, like I think honestly Lana might have had one of the hardest ones to me. Just Lost is kind of crazy. You could be you could be physically lost, you could be mentally lost. Like I was lost in this challenge, you know, like craziness. Which one would you want?
Payback's a Bitch or Obsessed. One of the two. Payback's a Bitch or Obsessed.
I think I would choose Learn That the Hard Way. Because I think there's kind of like some, you know, like humor in that. So once again, the queens break off into their teams, their groups, their brainstorming. And we see another crash out from Lexi Love.
If there's one thing about Lexi Love, she's going to have 5 episods in a week where she's having a crash out.
Like Lexi has had more crash outs than Joella had screen time. Like, it's insane that it's insane. And I get it that this is kind of how some people work through things. Like I'm one of those people, like I just have to complain, but I'm going to do it. Type of people. I know that about myself. So I don't know if that's just kind of how her brain works through stuff. Like I have to freak out about it first and then I will like bring myself back and you know, we'll get cracking. But it's crazy to me that she feels so unsteady every week and has been doing fine.
Is like I don't even know if this is drag delusion anymore. Like, is this just?
I think it's a genuine like anxiety disorder. Like I think Lexi Love is really struggling with her perception of herself, and it's like, you know, I just feel like she needs to trust her gut more. Like she came in on that week 1 when she had that prepared talent number and she could rely on her gut and what she knew. We saw her be so confident. I think she's just lacking the like, it's the unknown for Lexi.
Yeah.
I think that's really starting to get to her. And it's hard to see and it's sad to see because she really does knock it out of the park a lot.
Almost every time.
Right.
I love Lexi. It's just, it's running flat. I'm over the same thing, the same week, about the same person, with the same one-sided vendetta. It's just, when are we going to... oh my God, this is going to be so nasty, but if you put more time... And she's not even doing that bad, which is why it's even nastier. But if you put the time that you spent freaking out about the other girls into the actual stuff that you're doing, maybe you wouldn't have to freak out. Thank you.
No, I agree with you. I think you just kind of have to focus on yourself. Like, this is a competition. There are going to be other competitors there. Get over it, you know? Like, they're going to be able to do things better than you. That's just how it goes. There are people that are going to be better dancers than you, that you're going to be a better fashion, like, better at sewing than someone's better, you know, like, whatever. Everybody has these different qualities. So you need to focus on what you're good at, not what the other person's better than you at.
Period.
You know?
At least she didn't crash out over the order this week.
Well, because Jules, I'm honestly disappointed in Miss Jules because I wanted her to triple down on her list order making and just F with these hoes. It's fine. The order comes out and it's all very congenial and it's very everybody's placed where they wanted. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the TV? You're making TV. Where's the drama? You want that call for All Stars? You better fuck with that list. You better fuck with these girls and make that list some crazy shit.
Yes. But to wrap up and start to, you know, go through the actual scenes, we didn't get that much time watching them rehearse or like have that one-on-one time. We saw a little bit of their interpretive dance, but besides that, we kind of just, you know, we went right into painting. We just, you know, the girl. And talking about going into painting, we found out that Miss Lana's first job, she was a professional clown.
No, that's crazy because she's still out here acting a fool.
You're nasty.
And poor Jules, she had a monologue in the acting challenge last week. She has a monologue this week. She is not good with large bodies of text.
No.
Like,
No.
just do not give her a paragraph. Like, we have found Jules' weakness. It's moderately sized paragraphs of text.
Yeah, she's okay at acting when it's like a skidded scene.
Yeah.
She's good at design challenges. She's good at
Yeah.
a talent show where she's dropping puss on the floor and doing a jump split. La leche mi yo quiero. Yeah, but Miss Monologue Girl herself, when she's by herself and like, you
Oh
know,
my goodness, excuse me. Oh my god.
when she's by herself and the light is on her to shine,
Yeah.
I feel like she's just not taking the opportunity the way that she should.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So now that we're talking about it, let's get into kind of the monologues, the reason for the occasion. We have up first Jules with Susie's story. So this is how it's gonna be so confusing to talk about. So we'll try to keep everybody organized. How did you feel about them as a duo, Jules and Susie?
Like overall arching or
Yeah, like what stood out with, like whatever.
I felt like Susie was good with the talking and
Mhm.
Jules was good with the interpretive dance, but when
Yeah.
they had to flip, I feel like it kind of wasn't good because Susie wasn't interpretive dancing to the story. I feel like she was just interpretive dancing.
Yeah, she wasn't like actively listening. Like,
Yeah.
It didn't correlate to the story.
Like Jules looked like she was telling Susie's story.
Yeah.
It was not the same vice versa. I thought they were okay.
I agree. I actually really liked Jules in the dance. I thought
Yes.
she was kind of chewing.
Yeah. Jules is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. And I really enjoyed Susie's story.
Yeah.
I thought that Susie had a stronger story than Jules, whereas Jules kind of was better in the performance of the dance. But I think that Susie kind of like out nudged her just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I agree.
Not by much.
I agree. Next we have Anya and Lexi, and we have Lexi doing the interpretive dance first with Anya's story, and then we flip to Lexi doing the story and Anya interpretive dancing.
Lexi Love's interpretive dance in this moment was so stupid. She did the thing where she was like down to the ground and she looked like a spider monkey. Like, it was crazy. She was just like, you could see that she kind of just was like, girl, fuck it.
She was
like,
having fun. Like,
Yeah.
when I saw her on stage, I was like, she doesn't care about looking a mess. Cause she, and it wasn't a mess. It was, that's what the
fool.
challenge. Yeah, acting a fool. But it was so funny. I was laughing with Lexi. I thought Anya was really good at the storytelling.
Her story was really funny.
She ate that. How did you feel about them?
No, I agree. I loved it. I think they were both equally as strong. I think that their conjoined win this week was perfectly well deserved. I don't think it would have gone either way. And I honestly I couldn't have seen which one of them would have edged the other one out to get the win alone.
I think Anya, I don't know because I feel like Lexi a little bit, not anything crazy, but I feel like it kind of started to die off a teeny little bit at the end with her storytelling. But I think that her interpretive dance was so good that it made up for that and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree 100%. Then we move on to our final stories of the night. We have Lana and Sam, a very interesting pair. I think Lana and Sam were probably the most unique coupling this week.
I agree.
I was not expecting to see them working together, but Lana honestly really surprised me. I think she did way better than being in the bottom two, but the problem is that there's just so few girls.
Yeah.
That there's such a bigger magnifying glass now and nowhere to hide. So I was really impressed with Lana's interpretive dance. Her story, not so much. It kind of lacked personality.
I was going to say emotion. It lacked a little emotion.
Yeah. Her and Susie have that same problem of it lacking humanness.
Yeah.
It needs a little salt, a little pepper. We season it up a little bit.
I think that Lana had the best interpretive dance of the night because I don't know, she was just so captivating. She was so funny. She looked so pretty. Her hair was gorgeous. I
loved her in the blonde.
Yes, the blonde and her eyebrows being the exact same color.
Yeah.
She did. I don't
The
know.
red, she was kind of giving lifeguard a little bit in the red. Both of them, they were giving lifeguard.
I'm screaming.
But
I'm
I
screaming.
thought it was cute, and I think Sam on the other side of that coin was fine. I think Sam's interpretive dance was really lacking, like
A lot.
heavy.
Yeah.
Other than a lantern and some, confused looks, what did we get? We get it. You're lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now what? What else?
Who do you think had the best and worst? And I don't mean as a group. I mean like individually. Who was your favorite dance? Who was your favorite story? And who was your least?
I think Lexi had my favorite dance. Anya had my favorite storytelling. And my least favorite was probably Susie telling her story.
Okay.
The way she delivered her story was my least favorite.
Okay. I agree with you with the Susie being the least favorite story delivery. I think I'm gonna stand on it still. I think Lana had the best interpretive dance. And honestly, I think Anya was really good at her storytelling. I think I could have, if Anya and Lana worked together this week, I feel like they would have like brought something so good. I don't know. I just feel like they would have been so good together.
They have really good chemistry too. We saw it in last week's acting challenge that Anya kind of brings out a sillier, goofier, lighthearted side of Lana, which is always fun to see. I would have liked to see them work together too. I think that they would have had really good chemistry. But I loved Lexi and Anya together.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could have seen Sam with Lexi in this. Like if Anya wasn't with Lexi, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how that would have went down. But at the end, that was really the challenge. That was the monologues. There wasn't really, obviously there was a clear winner.
Yeah, there wasn't much to it. There wasn't a lot of disguising how the critiques are going to go down. That wraps up our monologues. The logs have monoed and it's ready to hit the runway. And you better mono that log.
You better mono that log. Our logs have mono.
Yes. Our logs.
That was almost as ugly as this week's category,
Yes.
which is ugly dress.
Yes. And
something you know very well.
Yeah. I know about ugly friends too.
Right.
So we hit the runway this week. Category is ugly dress. I love a category like this. It's kind of contradictory because it's Drag Race and you want things to look beautiful, obviously. So it's kind of fun to see what the girls are going to do, if they're going to like let their hair down and really kind of look a fool, or if they're going to try to do like, oh, this is so ugly because it has a bow on the front, So we'll see.
Like fashion ugly or actually ugly.
Right. So you know the rules here at Reality Check. When we hit the runway, we need to do a little deep dive, a little investigation with our segment here called Check
or Chuck.
If it's a check, that means we like your look, it serves the category, and you looked beautiful.
And if it's a Chuck, your outfit was trash, nasty, ugly, dirty, and rancid, and we hate it.
Yes, and if your look was so good, so breathtakingly gorgeous, that we just can't stop thinking about it, you already know that you gave us a reality check because it just completely gagged us and it was perfect. So let's get into this week's category of ugly dresses. First to hit the stage, we had Miss Susie Tote.
Susie Tote.
I absolutely hated this look. I did not like it at all. I understood the concept.
So is that good?
No, like bad. Like I did not enjoy it.
I thought it was hideous. I think it was great.
Like it was hideous, but like it was hideous in a way like you definitely spent a decent amount of money on that look to make it kind of look a little like she went for like a cute, campy, ugly. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the yellow hair. It just wasn't for me.
She was the star.
I understand the reference, but it was still ugly. It was still a chalk.
I thought it was camp as hell. I loved it. It's a check for me, for sure. I liked it.
I'm sorry, Susie. It's just I did not like this look. In talking about another look that I did not like, walking down the runway, we have Miss Jewel Sparkles in this 1980s prom-inspired look. She had her, her frizzy hair. She had her dress on, and she had it was like like those teeth that you would get at like Toys R Us from like the vending thing. Yeah, she clocked those little things and went hee hee.
Yeah, I think it's so funny that every time we get an ugly dress category, someone does 80s prom.
Yeah.
With like the headgear.
Yeah.
Like we saw it, we've seen it from Gigi Good. on season 12 too for the ugly dress category. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see. I don't think that this dress was ugly. I think it was dated. Obviously, it was meant to be 80s, but I actually thought it was really well made and really cute. You know, if I was in the 80s, I would have loved to wear that to the prom.
But is that, to the exact point that you made before, this dress is cute. It's dated. It's cute. Is this an ugly dress?
I don't think it's ugly. I wouldn't see that and be like, ooh, that's so ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think I can actually give Jules a check. I have to give her a chuck. She didn't hit the category for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was too cute.
Yeah.
I think it was too cute. So I'm also going to give her a chuck.
Sorry, girl. It's a
crazy.
chuck.
You're getting a chuck because you looked too good. So, you know, if you're going to get a chuck,
that's the one to get.
It's a pretty good damn
You're
reason,
This Jules Fear sparkles.
Now, hitting the stage with something that will definitely not be clocked as looking too good. Miss Anya Nerve cockadoodle doos her way onto the stage. And, like, just why? Like, what evil genius... Like, this was actually terrifying.
We have Anya coming out in a full turkey costume.
Yeah, she said gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble down.
Yeah. Pluck these feathers, honey.
But like, if I'm clocking Susie for being too camp. Like, this is camp, but like, I let her know turkey ? I'm living ?
Yeah, like, I don't, like, why not a turkey? Why a turkey?
And like the toenails were painted and bedazzled.
The other problem I have too is that it was a dress category. Ugliest dress. So she came out in pants, she came out in like a bodysuit, for the turkey, obviously. So that was my one thing that bothered me about it, was that it wasn't a dress, because that was kind of the prompt. It wasn't ugliest outfit ever, but it's still a check for me. I thought it was absolutely hideous. And
I'm like so torn right now to give her
I was scarred for life.
a check or a chuck.
The way that the Squidward's nose came down for the beak, like, I do wish that the beak was sitting upright. And, instead of being flaccid, Yeah.
A flaccid beak is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a check, Anya. I'll give you a check. Next on the runway, we have Miss Lexi Love coming out. Tutu tower extravaganza with a corset in the middle. It was fierce.
This look was so cunty.
Like,
and not in, like, it does not hit the category at all.
No.
This was so freaking cool. It was the first time from Lexi Love she didn't have a train, which was amazing. And this was fashionable. This was fashionable. This was fashion to me. It did not read as ugly. I mean, obviously, it was an eyesore. The colors, they clashed.
Yeah, no, for sure an eyesore.
But they did so in this intentional and, like, color story way. I think if she had lost the corset and done poof, neck
all the way down,
that would have been Lufa Ugly the House Down boots.
That could have been a reality check.
Yeah, honestly. This look, if this was a normal category and the category was like petticoats, this would have been a reality check, because I am absolutely obsessed with this. This look is so iconic, and the way that they all, like... Do you remember that purple thing?
Yes! I know exactly what you're talking about.
The eyes, like, she kind of looked like that. And I ate it up. I was eating this look up. I was eating it up. The way that it had, like, this tuxedo feeling with the bow ties, like, it was very... I don't know. I loved it. So
it was really good.
It's a chuck because it was too good.
It's a chuck. Honestly, I'm giving her a check. I'm giving Miss Lexi Love a check on this.
I'm sticking to the category. If I read Jules for looking too pretty and the dress being too pretty, then it's the same thing. I was obsessed with this look. This was so good.
It was cunty high fashion,
like,
but I wasn't
obsessed. I could have seen this as her finale elegant, like, coming out.
That's great.
Like,
now that is a crazy statement. I do not agree with that. I don't think that this look... It didn't tickle me, like, it was...
Okay, so moving on to somebody who also needs to learn their lesson of what is ugly is Miss Sam Starr. Because what the fuck do you mean you're coming out in a rhinestoned floor-length gown with a crystallized bleeding heart and sculpted pointy hair? beat mug. I'm having a stroke because this was just so overtly not ugly. It was out of Sam's typical aesthetic.
Yeah.
Sure. Ugly?
No. It was like if Lydia's outfit from like 2 runways ago and Sam Star.
Lydia would wear this as a finale.
She
would.
would.
The finale.
She actually would.
Like,
she actually would.
It's a chuck. I don't even want to talk about it because you know what you're doing. You didn't want to be vulnerable and wear something that you thought would be ugly, and you know what you're doing, and you probably got that from Trinity too, and it just bothered me. The category is ugly dresses. Why are you out here in 4 million rhinestones with a crystallized bleeding heart? Like, no.
You make the most valid point I think you've ever made on any episode we've ever done.
Like, and it had the build outs for the hips, the removable skirt. You put that on in the workroom and everybody was like, baby, you got the wrong category. Like, what are you doing? To me, it's frustrating because the runway categories, you get to peek into the mind of the queen about how they're expressing their interpretation of it.
Yeah.
So to be ugly, to allow yourself to be ugly and wear something ugly just shows that you're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to put yourself out there and look a little kooky, crazy, and, ugly. So to completely dodge the category just because you didn't want to wear something ugly pisses me off. Next.
It was also a chuck for me.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about a bitch that's getting a check?
A bitch that's getting a check. Next to the stage, we have Miss Lana Jarre walking out in the iconic one and only Candy Muse.
Yes. The pocket dress.
Yeah, the pocket dress. The pocket bag dress. The pocket bag dress from season 13.
Yes.
Wow. Lana, down. Check.
Now, look, this dress is hideous. I have one problem. And I think the judges kind of talked about it too, is that there was no infusion of Lana. Like, I wish that, yes, wear this ugly dress, but, like, I wish that there would have been some sort of tweak that might have happened, or, like, just something to make it original, Yeah. Because it's, she wore a Naomi Campbell look 2 weeks ago. Now she's wearing a Candy Muse look. My problem is I feel like I don't know who Lana really is. Like, she's kind of like an amalgamation of Drag Race memes to me. Like, she's like always referencing somebody else, always pulling from somebody else. And it's like, what does Lana think is ugly? Candy wore this. This is a Candy look,
I completely see. And honestly, it's unfortunate that we've had this happen. And it's not just Lana. So I don't want to have Lana feel like she's getting clocked down for this. Because Sam has worn multiple Trinity outfits this season. Yeah. Like, there are so many people who have worn other queens' looks, and it's like, Corey King, Monet Exchange's look, like her legit, and it was like the exact same, like
it was the look,
legit, it was the look. Yeah, I don't know. I 100% agree with you. There should have been a lot of twist on it, but like, I also appreciate that she didn't do it because like this look was so iconic in the moment.
She
like,
came out in La La Ree's bag ball look. You want to make a reference.
Gag.
You want to make a reference.
Gag.
Reference that. So it's a check for me because it was so ugly.
Yeah. I agree. That wraps up this week's Checker Chuck.
Yes. Who had your favorite look? Let us know down in the comments. Who was the ugliest and who was not so ugly? I think my top runway of the night actually is going to go to... Well, my favorite look on the runway was Lexi's. But my favorite look that hit the category actually was probably Susie Toots.
I'm going to go Lana.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Lana just because, Susie, I actually genuinely hated your look. Like...
Susie, I genuinely hate you.
Susie, I hated that Christmas. I also hate Christmas, so like...
Yeah, Josh is not a big holiday girl. I love Christmas time. I thought this was super funny. So we head to the judges' critiques, and it's nothing that we couldn't deduce from watching it ourselves. Mm-hmm. We find out that Jules and Susie too are only 2 safe queens of the week. We have a conjoined win with Ms. Anya Nerve and Lexi Love, which I think is completely vindicated, completely validated.
Definitely deserved.
And our bottom 2 queens, who I completely disagree with, well, one of them at least, are Sam and Lana Jarre.
I am like... Yeah, I couldn't believe that Lana is down there for the 4th time. I actually thought she did so well.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't a group thing.
Yeah, I wish that they were. It's so tough though because each queen was intertwined in the other queen's, like performance.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to separate them as individuals. But I do think that if this was judged individually, we may have gotten a Sam and Susie lip sync.
That part.
We could have gotten a
Sam and Jules, I think, honestly.
and Jules
yeah.
lip sync. I agree. So I don't know. I really don't think that Lana was meant to be in the bottom this week.
No, I do not think that Lana should have been in the bottom at
But
all.
I love a good Lana performance.
Now let me tell you.
What a great song. Illusion by Dua Lipa.
And we were literally just listening to that song in the car,
Yes.
going to go watch Drag Race. So for that to be the lip sync song, we were like, ah!
Illusion. Great song. It's very dancey. It's very draggy. There's some camp moments in there for sure. And if you want to really talk about it,
This was
the winner of this week's lip sync got eliminated. Do you think that track record and kind of the history of how the competition has been going should play a part in the ultimate decision of who wins a lip sync?
No. Because Lana ate Sam up. She sweeped Sam on that fucking floor. I don't care what anybody says. Every single person will agree.
Now, Sam did good too.
Yeah.
So they both gave a good show. Honestly, there was a small part of me that thought, we're seeing Lexi in this Candy Muse look. Like maybe we're gonna get a candy, wait, moment. That would have been so iconic if RuPaul referenced herself in that moment. But I do believe that when the lip sync music starts,
everything off the
should
table.
be a clear slate. It is solely about the next 2.5 minutes of your performance.
Yeah.
Should dictate what happens. I don't care if a queen lip syncs episode 1 to episode 14. It could happen. It should happen.
If you win the lip sync, you win the lip sync.
Right.
That is it. Lana was freaking robbed. She was robbed.
I mean, look, it was her fourth time in the bottom. I think that clock, was ticking. I do believe that Lana's run on the show has kind of petered out. I do think that it was her time. However, this lip sync specifically, I think she did win.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. I don't think that
When she did that one-legged hop with the gun into
my
a dip,
god! When I have never screamed. The only time that I can physically physically remember feeling the way that I felt when I watched that lip sync last night was the finale with Saphira.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like
Very similarly gag-worthy.
Like
For sure.
I want to watch it right. Like,
No,
is it?
No, it's crazy. Unfortunately, though, Lana's clock did run out on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 12, and I'm sad to see her go. I hope that she can really enjoy her experience on Drag Race, because I think going into it, Lana had a very different vision of how maybe her run was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
She was never able to snatch a win. She did have 4 very, very good lip syncs, which, that booking fee, after the show, every time you lip sync, that booking fee goes up, so I think she's going to have a very successful career after Drag Race, and she's already been so successful before the show. So I'm excited to see her back for All Stars because, she'll get the call eventually. And yeah, Lana, best of luck,
Lana, I want to formally apologize for the first
11.
9. I was a Lana stan the past few episodes. I was.
10 episodes. 10. We'll give you 10.
Okay, so for the first 10 episodes, I was not the biggest Lana fan. I didn't feel like you were
actively.
I just didn't feel like you were. I feel like you weren't taking it serious, and I feel like you just didn't care that much, even though then you did care. I just wasn't a fan of you. I'm just gonna be honest. You weren't doing it for me.
Roll the clip of Josh talking about Lana's pink runway, and we'll see. Not a fan categorizes in that.
So, I'm just really proud of you the past few weeks. You did really good. I think the end of your Drag Race run did it for me. I feel like the end of your run really solidified how I feel about you as a queen. I loved seeing your lip syncs. I loved seeing you, do the challenges and stuff. It was so good. When you finally started letting go and you started being you, you flourish. And it was beautiful to watch. So I'm sad to see you go. There's always a spot on this couch for you if you ever want to come. And hopefully we can play Fortnite with you one of these days because we see that you're on, girl.
Yes.
We see you on.
No, I love it. I think at the end of the day, Lana Geray at her core is an entertainer.
Yeah.
Is a performer. And I think on Drag Race, sometimes when people are just really good at being drag queens, which is, you know, working in clubs, performing, entertaining people, there's a difficulty to transition to a show like Drag Race because not everybody has to do all of these weird things all the time. Some queens just have a really specific specialty of being amazing entertainers, you know?
Yeah.
And I think for Lana, at the core of who Lana is as a queen, at least as a viewer, as somebody who's perceiving her, that's what I get from her, is that you give her a number and you give her enough room to move, you're going to be entertained. You're going to leave entertained. You're going to leave with no money because it's going to be tipped. And I think that, you know, that's that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because that has been your reality check on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 12. We've got 5 girls left. The final countdown is coming. And I want to know, let us know down in the comments who you think is most likely to snatch that crown. We have 1 queen with 4 wins. We have 2 queens with 2 and 1 queen with 1. Or does Jules have 2?
I think Jules has 1 win.
Yeah.
Lexi has 2.
Susie has 2.
Susie has 2.
And Anya has
Anya
4.
has 4. And Sam has 3.
Oh my god, and Sam's there. Oh my god, I wasn't even accounting for Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
Forget about...
Acacia, remember.
Yeah, Acacia, sure. We will see you next week back on this couch. We're currently covering RuPaul's Drag Race and Survivor 48. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when we are talking about your favorite shows. And as always, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.